Fala, meus amigos, fala, minhas amigas, sejam muito bem-vindos e muito bem-vindas a mais uma entrevista do Ibagenscast. Quem fala aqui, como sempre, é o Manu. Antes da gente começar a trocar nossa ideia, peço para que você se inscreva no canal, ative as notificações, deixa o like, nos siga nas redes sociais. Quem quiser e puder, contribua com o meu trabalho via Pix e considere se tornar membro do canal para contribuir com o canal mensalmente e ter benefícios por isso. Hoje a entrevista é muito especial, tenho dois convidados especialíssimos. Uma já é da casa, né? Tá aqui pela terceira vez, acredito eu. E a gente tem o grande guitarrista com quem ela vai fazer uma tour nos Estados Unidos. Tô falando da Jen Majura. She's back! And Travis Larson. Welcome, guys. How are you guys doing?
Let me get my Duolingo app going on my phone.
There you go.
Good to see you. Thank you for having us.
Oh, man, thanks for being here. How are you doing, Jen? Finally, you're back.
Yeah, I know. It's been quiet for quite a while. And now I'm super excited to be out on the road touring again. And I think like this is going to be the fucking greatest thing that I've done in a long time.
Jen is practicing. She's going to play so many notes on
Yeah,
this tour.
true. Honestly, I mean, with this thing that we have coming up, I must say it's the hardest that I've ever played. Like when it comes to guitar playing, I even managed to like higher the position of my guitar because it's hard to play.
I'm getting her up there like John Petrucci. It's getting higher and higher.
Oh, shush.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about this tour that will happen in the US. But first of all, how did you guys met each other and became friends?
That's a story for Trav. Trav is going to tell the story.
Please.
I'll tell a quick version, but originally we met. I had a thing at the NAMM show called the X Jam, which was this show, an all-star guitar show that we did at the NAMM show every year in Anaheim, California. And it was, depending on the year, it was me and Andy Timmons, and one year Paul Gilbert, Devin Townsend, and all these guys, that would play the Zappa band, Mike Keneally. And so there was a company that endorsed her that asked, because they were sponsoring the show, they emailed me and said,
Ibanez or Fishman, I don't know.
I think it was an amp company. I think it was an amp company. But anyway, they emailed me and said, could we, get one of our artists on the show because we're sponsoring the show and none of the artists use this product. So they said, there's this girl named Jen Majura. She plays in this band. And I had never heard of her or the band. Apparently they were popular. And so I found a spot for her in the jam at the end of the night, and we became friends there. And then when we really became friends, she started doing the 1 minute jam over the pandemic. And when she was doing the 1 minute jam, I knew her. So I messaged her one day and I said, hey, it's really beautiful. You're putting out this positive energy in the world. You're doing these 1 minute jams. It's so fun seeing all these guys play these crazy 80s pop songs and stuff. And she immediately messaged me back and said, I just got hit in the face with a bat. And it was like right then, hi, Cookie.
She just got hit in the face.
She just got hit in the face with a bat. And so I said, a bat like a baseball bat or a bat like the fuzzy animal? And she said the fuzzy animal. And then I've never done this before in my life, but it was on Facebook Messenger, and I pushed the phone icon and it rang, and she picked up immediately. And she's like, I just got hit in the face with a bat. I was coming home late at night after a birthday, and a motion light came on, and this thing flew out of the dark and hit me in the eye. And then she started sending me pictures, and she was getting a black eye already. And me, being the scaredy cat that I am, I was like, you've got to go to the doctor. You can't get hit in the face with a bat and not go to the doctor. You have to go checked out. You're going to get rabies. It's going to be terrible. And so the next morning she went and got checked out, and I called her, and we've talked every single day since, and we've hung out as many times as we can.
We just became soulmates.
Yeah.
Honestly, like Travis is like my heart. He's like my brother, and we became soulmates ever since this day. So.
And you've never been hit in the face by a bat since then, right? Again.
No, well, yeah,
yes,
actually,
one time.
It happened again.
It's happened twice. Most people, it's like getting hit by lightning, right? If you get hit by lightning, it'll never happen again. With Jen Majura, she's been hit in the face twice with a bat.
I know.
She's gonna
anyway, let's talk music.
So that's my story.
I didn't know about that story. That's news for me. Great story. I loved it.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, so Travis, for those who doesn't know your music, you and your music, can you tell us a little bit about your career? I know you just released an album, the new exhibit last year. That was your first album since 2016, your band's.
Correct.
So why did it took you so long?
That's a great question. Usually every 2 years, my entire career, I would come out with something. And what happened was we'd been doing this for so long that we actually took a break. After 2016, we did a tour, which was our 20th anniversary tour for Travis Larson Band, my band. And that was a way to not have to put out a record. We just did this anniversary tour, and that was in 2018. So then we thought, okay, now we're going to do a new record. And then the pandemic happened. And so then we were kind of stuck here, couldn't tour. We were doing a lot of what we're doing right now on these, Skype, Zoom, StreamYard type interactions. And we did that for a couple of years and waited until we could actually tour to put the record out. So it took longer than any other record in my entire career. But for those who aren't familiar with my music, most people describe it as this kind of blend between Jeff Beck, Steve Morris, and Rush. That's kind of my three big, huge influences.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it's nice. And I know you already toured with the names like Steve Morse and John Petrucci, and now Jen Majura, of course.
Oh, now Jen Majura.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about how were this experience?
Well, the biggest relationship I've had as a touring entity is with Guthrie, with the Aristocrats. I've toured with the Aristocrats until this recent tour, and that everything kind of changed after the pandemic. But I toured with those guys for 8 years. They never did a U.S. run without Travis Larson Band. And when they started out, we were actually there the night that they started out. It was at a bass bash at the NAMM show. And Brian was a friend of ours, and he was doing a bass jam, and originally it was Marco Miniman and Greg Howe, and Greg Howe had to back out, so he found this guy on the internet named Guthrie Govan, who was a pretty good guitar player, right? And so the rest is history. Those guys jammed that night. They said, we got to do this more often. And then me having a band that had been touring for years, we ended up kind of joining forces because I had the vehicle and the crew and, everything was kind of in place. And so I was able to, kind of facilitate in the early days, those guys being able to get out there because they were all sidemen for other groups, but they hadn't toured under their own steam before. They hadn't had their own project. So the Aristocrats is a big one. And then I've toured a lot with Andy Timmons. Steve Morris is my main mentor, and I had the honor of playing with the Dregs on their last reunion tour, and they're about to go out again. But they're going out, so I'll be busy this time, unfortunately, or fortunately.
You're going to be busy with me.
I'm going to be busy with this lady here. Her and I are taking over. The whole idea with us is it's like the least amount of people with the most amount of notes.
Great. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Jen, recently or in the last month, you released some covers that I would like to talk about. For example, you did a cover of the song "Join Me in Death" by him.
Oh yeah,
it was amazing, great. And
Thank
recently, you did a version of Demi Lovato's song "Anyone."
Yes.
I honestly didn't know the song so
gorgeous,
far.
and
I loved it.
Like
I loved it.
I heard it and I was like, oh my god, I'm in love with this song. Honestly, I didn't know the song before.
Oh
no, but then I heard it and I'm like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah, that was the first time I've listened to the song. And congrats, Jen. You made me start listening to Demi Lovato.
Hey, let me just say too, not to give anything away, but there's a chance that some of these things might happen on this upcoming tour. I'm just saying.
Well, who knows?
Jen does these songs sometimes, and her being my best friend, she sends me these things. Sometimes she just does them for fun and kind of to see if she can, or just to do it as a therapeutic thing to play a song that she loves. And so she'll send me these recordings. And so this last one, You might hear some of this stuff on the road. That's all I'm saying.
Uh,
If you show up to these shows,
Could
you might
happen.
hear as a kind of a special intermission in the show, you might hear Jen do some stuff you thought you would never see her do.
Exactly.
Nice. Jen, you also covered the song "In the Name of War" by the band
Oh
Whom
my
Was
God.
Destroyed.
This
This is
this
a
thing.
yeah.
Let me
Okay,
tell
go
you
on,
the whole story about this.
please.
So when I was talking to Ron, I was like, wouldn't it be great to have like a guitar cover of this song when you put out the single? And he was like, yeah, here's the tabs. Like, you should do it. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. Oh, good Lord. And I sat down and I learned that song, and it was so hard. It was so hard because you have to play. It would be hard to play that on a fretted guitar, but then I had to play it on an unfretted, like a fretless guitar. And it was just like so hard. And I decided to like, okay, I'm going to put this video out there the day after they release the video. And I was just proud that I was able to play it. But let me just say, it was one of the hardest covers I've ever done in my entire life.
Yeah. So, what are your expectations about this record?
Well, I know the record already.
Mm,
I've heard
all
it,
right.
and it's amazing. It's like Sons of Apollo 2.1.
Yeah.
It's great, and I love Dino. I gotta say that I love Dino's vocals and his way of singing. And so having Dino, not that I don't love Jeff. Jeff is an amazing singer, an
Oh man,
amazing
he's a legend.
vocalist, absolutely fantastic vocalist. But Dino is a fresh, really amazing young talent as well. And so I'm really looking forward to everybody being exposed to this album. It's fantastic.
Great. So, can we expect more covers coming soon in your
For
YouTube
me,
channel? Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, she's going
I
to be
don't
on the road, so
honestly.
probably not for a while.
Exactly. So what I'm planning to do is like establish that every Saturday there's a video, and I wanna publish a tour vlog every Saturday
Mm,
to just inform everybody about what's going on tour with Travis and me. So that's what I'm focusing on right now.
If people want a preview of that, they could go to your YouTube channel and check out the American in Europe series. Because I've been over there a couple of times, and she's got entire tour vlogs on us running around
yeah.
looking at castles.
The castles
The
vlogs.
castles.
Her tour vlogs are great. Can't wait for the next one.
Uh,
Jen,
Uh.
you've been releasing some videos in your YouTube channel called Guitar Stuff, and I love them.
oh yes, yes.
You talk
absolutely.
about the basics and some very important stuff to young and experienced guitar players. So, how this idea came about?
I just saw so many guitar videos where you are literally you have to be advanced to learn further. And I just wanted to provide something for people that are starting. Like when you're a beginner and you watch a video that teaches you how to like go into like pro level, it doesn't help you because you miss the gap. So I wanted to do something that helps total beginners, like people that are really like starting guitar players, little exercises, little things, little tips that can help in the beginning. And that's how I came up with guitar stuff, to be honest. Like and this week's episode is about the G chord. It's you play guitar fantastically. I mean, we got in touch because you did this amazing
Yeah,
classical cover thing, and I loved it, and that's why we became friends, right?
yeah,
So yeah.
exactly.
Let me say, as an outsider, I've been to Jen's school and I've done a clinic there, and we've performed there. And she is. You have to pretend she's not here because she doesn't take compliments well. We might have to just pull her out of the chat, but. She is a brilliant teacher, and one of the things that makes her such a brilliant teacher, and this is a special skill she has, honestly, where she has an ability to take things and explain them in a way that people understand them when you might not understand 20 other teachers, but she'll take things and put them in layman's terms so that somebody that doesn't know what she's talking about really gets what she means. And she's really brilliant at that. She's a great teacher.
Oh, thank you. That's
that is
that's
great.
the whole thing. Like if you are a good teacher and educator and someone doesn't get it the way you say it and explain it, you have to find different ways around, like how to explain it in a different way. So if someone, for example, doesn't get the comparison to a snowman, then compare it to pizza or something else, like something relatable for that person. And I love teaching. Absolutely, I love teaching. And I think that guitar stuff episode thing is amazing. It's like it gives me great comfort just to like teach beginners with little tips and tricks.
I hope for more, Jen. Those videos are awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, so recently you released an album, Jen, but it
Me?
wasn't playing guitar. You are the
What?
singer of Mike Magini's first solo record, Invisible Signs.
Amazing.
Great. It's a great album. So
Thank
how
you.
did this opportunity came about and what it was like
Oh my
working and
God.
creating and recording this album with Mike Magini?
You had a talk with Mike, so Mike told you a lot about it. And honestly, Mike has been okay. Here's the story. So when I first noticed as a little child, I was a kid. I was like 7, 8, 9 years old. My dad took me to a concert to see G3 live. And Mike Magini was the drummer. And he was the first drummer that I've ever noticed, like, oh, when he hits like, the golden plates, that's like, psh. And if he hits like this one thing that is called a snare, it's like, pat. And then if he does something with his feet, it's like, do, 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 do. So he was the first drummer that I realized like what a drummer does. And that was fantastic for me as a young and up and coming musician, like I was like, oh, that's a drummer. Oh, amazing. And years later, I became friends with him because we hung out at the same festivals, we hung out at the same backstages and just started talking. And honestly, like getting to know Mike was amazing because my God, I love this guy. He's such a beautiful personality. He's fantastic. He's passionate. He's enthusiastic. He's smart. He's like, I love this guy. And it got to the point where he asked me to check in on some of his songs that he has written for a solo album, whether I would like to consider singing them. And I remember he showed me one instrumental track, and it was Freak of Nature, the first single. And I immediately said yes. I was like texting him back. I'm like, yep, I'm your singer. Yep. And then it was a lot of working together, setting up like Zoom calls, and he could watch my DAW, like DAW, when I was recording and tracking, and we would talk all the time, and he would give me like a reference, like, oh, can you sing more like this or that? And that was really helpful. And that was amazing. And so we both just worked together on the vocal recording, and that was amazing. And I couldn't be more proud of the outcome of this whole album.
Yeah, you should.
Yes, Cookie, it's Travis. I'm sorry, my budgie is like
Travis Cookie.
So, if Mike makes a second solo record, should you sing on it too?
What? Huh?
Come on, Jen.
I don't know. Huh?
I don't
know.
think I don't think Mike could do it without her at this point. Just saying.
Yeah.
My God.
I'm just
I
saying.
don't know.
Ben.
We'll see. I don't know. I talked to Mike frequently, like, he sent me a text the other night. He was like, "Hey, I'm hanging out in Seattle in my hotel room. Hey, if you want to catch up, like, just because Mike and I are friends, like, we would catch up and talk like friends. What's going on in your life and shit like that." And it happened that he sent me a text and he was in Seattle, and that's like 9 hours time difference to Germany. And he sent the second message. He's like, "Oh shit, I just realized where I am. It's late for you. I'm sorry." So we'll see. I don't know.
I learned how good she really is watching her work on this Mike record, because Jen in the studio doing vocals is unbelievable, and most people will not get an opportunity to see that, but the way she works so quickly, and the way that she lines up like her tracks, where she'll give somebody so many options so quickly, and so much stuff to use in conjunction with itself, harmonies, unison sections, different options, and she knocks this stuff out like that. It's unbelievable. She's so talented as a vocalist. People know her as a guitar player, but as a vocalist, she's ridiculous.
Yeah, the first time I interviewed Jen, she told me this, that people knows me as a guitar player, but actually I'm a singer. Yeah, and she's a great singer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm gonna make her sing on this tour. So if people want
do it,
people that come to see these shows, they're going to get, anybody that comes to these shows for any reason is going to get what they want, because we're so eclectic. But she's going to do
we're going to cover up like pretty much everything on this tour. It's from classical pieces to chart pop songs to instrumental prog fusion stuff to hard rock songs. It's like country songs. It's everything you want.
Everything. It's everything. If you bring your wife and she doesn't know anything about music, she's still going to leave with something that she...
Totally. Yes.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this US tour. How did you guys came to the decision to tour together?
Jen? Well, I'll tell you, here's the thing. Jen and I are a scary combination, because we're
both insane.
Yeah, I will take things. People don't see my insanity publicly as much as they see hers, but I will take something and run with it 200%, and she will say crazy things. So she'll say crazy things to me, and I'll run with them 200%. So she was going to come visit, and then it was like, well, you should book some gigs. And then it was like, you should book as many gigs as you can. And then it was, holy crap, you booked a month's worth of gigs? Yes. You said book as many gigs as I can, so we're going on tour. And then it becomes, okay, now we're doing a month. Now we might as well do other months. Now we might as well tour the world.
Travis, tell them about the one gig we do, which is completely a nutcase. Like the first one in Santa Monica. So tell them about it.
This just got booked last night. So I got a request to do a solo show in Santa Monica, which is LA, California. And Santa Monica is right next to LAX, which is the LA airport, which is where you fly into when you're coming from Germany. So the gig, coincidentally, this was not planned, they asked me to do a gig the night that she flies in. So she flies in, and then the gig, I was thinking, well, I'm going to be on stage when she flies in, but no, apparently I'm playing maybe 2 hours after she lands. So the idea is I'm booking it. It's going to be billed as a Travis Larson show, with the possibility that Jen Majura, if her flight is on time, will come on stage and play as well. So she's going to be traveling for like 30 hours and then walk straight onto stage in LA, because she's out of her mind.
I'm just going to go through immigration and then go out of LAX, grab an Uber, drive to the venue, and just jump on stage.
Yeah, she's going to show up in an Uber, and I'm going to be on stage already.
Yeah. So Travis Larson band, maybe with Jen Majura.
Exactly.
So this is going to be crazy. She's going to be exhausted. She's going to look like somebody that's been traveling for 30 hours, and then
like shit.
And I'm going to make her play like the hardest song we're working on. Okay, get up here. We're going to play the one song with a bunch of notes.
Here's the thing. We're going to play songs together, like Travis and I, for our US tour. We're going to play songs together, Like, I'm gonna play one of his songs. He's gonna play one of my songs. And we also gonna play like our separate, like he's gonna play his songs, I'm gonna play my songs. But then at the same time, it's a very interactive show. So the concept that I have for this tour is it's not a show, it's not a clinic, it's something more. It's interactive. And I want people to feel included into the show. So people are actually like being a part of the show. They're going to pick the songs that we jam to. They can win stuff during our performance. It's the whole concept is more modern, and it's not old school clinic or old school show. And I'm very excited about this. And the biggest thing for me personally is I'm going to be painting on stage. I'm going to have a canvas on stage, and I'm going to be like acrylic painting while Travis is playing his songs. And I'm going to be painting, and the painting by the end of the night is going to be sold. So this is like very, unique. Like every show is going to be so unique and amazing. Yeah. And I can't wait for this.
And this comes from, again, our life as best friends is she gets into these things like painting and art. And I love watching that. And then when we've done a couple of shows before, they were completely off the cuff, just short notice, kind of just going for it. We didn't have a plan. And we did these in Europe. And so at those points, she would just kind of hang out on the side of the stage while I was playing. And it was like, you should be doing something, right? So how about we do it like we would do it at home? What if we were hanging out at home and we were just like being loose and we're jamming? And so we're jamming on songs. We're playing some of our own songs. And then when I'm playing, she's going to do something else, but she's always doing something. And she's the only person that would have the balls to get up there and paint a painting in front of people instead of actually taking a moment to get her breath, have a drink, relax. No, she's never going to stop. When she's playing, I'm going to sit down and take a breath, but she's going to be working the whole time.
I can't wait to paint. That's going to be amazing.
So for how many shows do you guys have scheduled?
I think it's somewhere around 20.
20?
It's close to 20.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great. And what about the material that you guys are going to play on the shows? Jen says that you're going to play some of her songs. She's going to play some of your songs. But what else are you guys planning to do?
Well, there's
everything.
Some surprises. Yeah. I mean, some stuff
everything. It's like we're going to do the song that we did do a cover of together, which is a country song. We're going to have like classical stuff. We're going to have instrumental stuff. We're going to have songs with, vocals and some instrumental stuff. And we also
some
of
Jen's
have,
beautiful covers might show up.
Beautiful covers might show up. Who knows? And we're gonna have maybe one song for the wives that are being dragged to the show, because it's pretty much it's like a, it's like an electric guitar instrumental guitar show. So most husbands go because they're into that, and they drag their wives with them who are not so much into that. So I'm gonna do one song maybe for them as well. So it's literally everything. It's
maybe even more than that. Maybe the whole second set is going to be like a Britney Spears tribute. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? We might do all our whole boy band set on this. Maybe each show might be different. Like one night we might just do. It might be Boys to Men a whole hour.
Oh my god. So it's gonna be surprises. Yes,
I have to go to the US to watch those concerts, man. You convince me.
We might have to come to you eventually.
Yeah. So, do you already think about the possibility of doing more tours together? Because this sounds like something that can't go wrong. You have to do more.
I know,
and it didn't even.
We are right now looking into Europe for fall this year and Asia for spring next year. Talks have already happened, And I would totally love to like expand this idea, because the idea of just not having a clinic and not having a just show, you know, like the show is like you as an artist, you feel like this monkey in the zoo. You just like, you know, the show starts, you perform, and then the show ends. I don't like that. And I've been in a band where this was pretty much how we felt. I felt, I felt, and I don't like that. I like to interact with people. I like to connect with my audience. So if there are people in front of the stage and I get the chance to like drag them into what I'm doing, this gives me more energy. And I would love to do that more. And so the concept of this whole thing, we call it an evening with Majura and Travis Larson. I totally want to sell this product to the world domination.
One of the most fun things about this, we'll call them our first couple of test shows, even though we weren't even planning at that point. But we did these couple of shows in Europe, and the thing about it is, her and I, we both have microphones. We're bantering with each other like we do just every day. Yep. The audience gets pulled into that. There's a chemistry and a camaraderie, and it's fun and it's loose, and we can change what we want to do on a dime. There's no set list. The set list doesn't exist. There's no set list.
Exactly.
I have a set list in front of me with like 30 songs, and I can do anything at any moment. And it's just a matter of like, what do we feel like we want to do right now? What kind of fun are we going to get into? What do you guys want us to do right now?
Exactly.
So have you ever thought about recording an album together? Why don't you do it? It makes sense to me.
Huh. I never thought about it.
I've thought about it. We'll talk. Yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yes.
Really?
Here's the thing, though.
Did you put thought into like recording an album together? Like maybe for, I mean, your stuff, if you write stuff and I could sing on.
Well, that was kind of, yeah, we were thinking about that. But the thing is, right now, I just finished an album cycle. I just want to go out and have fun with my friend for a while. That's where I'm at right now. Because for me, making albums is a painful process. I love having made albums, but I hate making albums because I'm a perfectionist. Jen's a perfectionist.
Totally.
We're gonna tear each other apart if we make an album together, but it'll be brilliant. But we're gonna kill each other. We love each other to death, but it's gonna be batshit.
It's gonna be terrible
because we're both perfectionists and we both are so strong-willed. But I would not put it past that something may happen someday, but it's not gonna happen tomorrow.
Okay, good to know.
I'm waiting. So when you do it, you guys come back here for us to talk about it, please.
Totally. Trav, so write some music.
The last solo song you released was Testicles. And I love your testicles. Your testicles are great.
You love her testicles? Oh, they're amazing.
Yeah.
Jen's got the biggest balls in music.
Is there a possibility of you showing testicles in this next tour to the audience?
On this tour?
I for one, will not be showing any testicles.
Honestly, maybe I should. Trav, I haven't even thought about it. Maybe I should do testicles.
Well, you have 2 weeks to rehearse.
I could maybe do it. Like, you have to come out and see the show to figure out if I do testicles or not.
It is a great
song.
I
don't like the idea of in the press out there. The quote is Jen Majura does testicles. I don't like this. Somebody has to protect you from yourself.
Come on.
So, do you think this tour might inspire you to write songs for your next solo album, Jen?
I know where you're coming from, and I appreciate that. I hope that I can find that fire of passion and music again. Like hope that this does the job, because as of right now, still I am in this. We spoke about this privately, because
Yep.
you're my friend, and we spoke about this, and it's still very hard for me to feel excited about music. So I'm still in this kind of like an weird momentum where I'm like not feeling inspired enough to do the next
Hmm.
solo album. I just ordered like 100 copies of my second solo album, Insanity, and they arrived, and it's a giant box, and I see that sitting on my kitchen table, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to pack this for the tour. And I look at these copies and I'm thinking, wouldn't it be great to have a third one of those? Like, I want to write, but maybe this tour sparks the third album. I don't know yet. We'll
The
see.
start of that, I think, is getting out and just having fun. And that's what we're doing. We're getting out and we're having fun. Two best friends
Totally.
playing music together and just
Yeah.
not having any pressure of anything. And so that's
Yeah.
that's what's happening.
Jen has mentioned Insanity, and to this day, I still have two of these album songs in my playlist that I listen to
You do?
every week. All the other ones and Bully Lies. I love those songs.
Oh
Those
my
two songs.
God.
I love them. I love them. I totally love them. And this
Thank
is why
you.
I'm asking you, and I ask you all the time when we talk privately to write new songs.
Yeah.
But there's a long time I don't see you that happy and excited about something. This tour with Travis has really made you happy, right?
Totally. I am so excited about this because there's this interview question. Do you like playing festivals or do you play club shows better? Like, this question. Do you like a big audience? Do you like a small audience? And honestly, now that I think about it, I've had it both. I was in a band that played fucking stadiums for 60,
Damn.
70, 80,000 people. But I've
Huge.
also played tiny shows in like an Irish pub or something. And now, given the fact that I've been exposed to both, I am looking forward to play small shows, because the small shows are the shows where you can connect with the people. You can have this energy exchange. You can't have that in a stadium when there's like this giant, massive amount of people. But playing for less people, but all the few people who attend the show are going to watch and be totally sucked into your show. That's a different energy. And I'm looking forward to that.
One of our regular venues here for my kind of music in California is the world famous Baked Potato, and there's a reason it's world famous, and there's a reason that everybody plays there. Steve Vai, Steve Lukather, all these guys that do these weekend shows there. My friend Mike Keneally and I have played there a bunch of times.
We're going to
And
do 2 shows with Mike.
We're going to do 2 shows with Keneally on this tour, yeah. And the thing about a small place like that is it's a completely different experience, and that's exactly what she's been talking about our shows coming up, is having people right in your face, people that you're actually connecting with, that you're interacting with. So it's like a house party with friends. It's not like this, you're in a bubble and there's this whole entity out there that's watching you, but you feel completely isolated from them. And I haven't toured stadiums as much as she has, but I have played stadiums, and it's not the same thing. It's its own joy because there's a different kind of energy. But playing little clubs and theaters and things like that for smaller audiences is such a more intimate experience, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for positive connection with human beings, especially after the pandemic
Totally.
and everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. This is what we need. So, Travis, you just said that you like to every 2 years release a new album with the Travis Larson band. So, your latest album came out in 2023. Can we expect a new album in 2025?
See how Jen's disappearing? Probably not, because the touring plans have already so much been set for the next 2 years for me.
2 years?
I'll put something else out there that is not released yet, but I feel like I can mention it and I'll get away with mentioning it. I'm going to be touring a lot with Jen. I'm also going to be touring a lot with a band called Project, which is a progressive supergroup.
Yeah.
And I'm going out as Travis Larson with Project, so a double bill. All the dates that I'm on haven't been completely negotiated yet, but I know that I'm going to be doing the States in the early summer, and there's more potentially later coming up that we haven't signed off on. But that group is Mike Keneally from Zappa, Jonathan Mover. He was the original Joe Satriani drummer, has done a million things. Rio from Spock's Beard on keyboards. And then they've had kind of a revolving door of bass players and singers. The last tour I did was Mark Bonilla from the Keith Emerson Band on vocals and guitar. And then the bass player, the upcoming one hasn't been announced yet, so I don't want to say, but it's always somebody incredible. So that I'm looking forward to those shows. And that is a very niche, nerdy thing. So the stuff I'm doing with Jen, like I said, that'll appeal to everybody. The Project shows is like they're playing some crazy obscure B-sides from 70s prog albums, that nobody plays or nobody plays anymore. They're doing a whole side of an ELP record, obscure Genesis, Yes, Rush, all that kind of stuff. So it's the music I love, and it's really fun to go out with those guys. So my next 2 years are kind of already mapped out in a way. So there probably will not be a TLB record next year.
All right, Jen, what about your school in Germany? How's it doing?
Oh, the school is going great. I just had a fantastic time of teaching in my music school, and my kids are just Man, I have these two kids. One is called Maury. Maury is like, he's 6 years old, and this little motherfucker plays like fucking AC/DC and kickstart my heart. And he's so ambitious, and when he plays, he's like, so I love him. I keep telling his parents, I'm like, if you want to get rid of this kid, I'll take him.
We're gonna take him on tour.
He's so amazing. My goodness, I love this kid. And funny enough, it got established that Ron Bumblefoot is his biggest fan, because Ron is my heart, and he's one of my besties. And
Great
so
guy.
I kept sending him messages and videos of Maury playing, and he's like, "Oh my god!" And so he responds every week, and it's just like, just yesterday, I had another small student, like 6, 7 years old, called Oscar. And he was so ambitious. He was like, I did a challenge with him and learn a song fast, yada, yada, yada. And he was so passionate about it. And it made me cry. I was sitting there watching this kid play guitar, and I'm like dropping tears because I was just so proud of him. And I love teaching. I love teaching. I love spreading all that stuff and shit that I know, and see how these little ones grow, even the little ones that are grown-ups, I love it. I love it.
I'm one of those. I learn stuff from Jen all the time.
You do. That's true.
Guys, I think this is it. So, Jen and Travis, last question. What can we expect from you guys in the future besides this tour?
Well, there's going to be more touring, more fun, more camaraderie.
Insanity.
Yeah, more insanity. I do want to get out there too, because I actually maintain my website. If you go to travislarsonband.com, you will find all of Jen and my tour dates. Travis Larson Band, TravisLarsonBand.com.
Jesus, that's unnecessary, but okay.
I know, but people,
Guys, spell
it's just Travis Larson.
Yeah,
people don't spell it with an O always. So,
Jesus.
But yeah.
Okay.
So check it out, and what you can expect is more insanity. Like she said, we're gonna. The goal is we're gonna try and book the gigs closer and closer to the flights.
Exactly.
Wait, we're gonna have like flights landing at 7 and shows starting at 8. It's gonna be amazing. I just booked a
The
flight
Santa
today.
Monica thing is gonna kill me, but I love it.
Listen, I just booked another one today, just like that. So on the tour, so she's gonna land in Santa Monica like 2 hours before she would be on stage because it's gonna take her that long to get out of customs. I'll already be on stage. I just booked a flight today from Las Vegas to Seattle, and we have a show in Seattle that day as well. And we're literally gonna land and go straight to that gig too. So it's a running theme of the tour.
Are you kidding?
I'm not kidding.
For real?
For real.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we're
I'm
literally
in.
getting off a
I'm
plane.
down.
We're going to the gig.
Best tour
Yeah,
ever.
we're fucking insane. Okay.
And then Jen, what did you say yesterday? You said,
Huh?
maybe we should actually consider playing on the plane.
Yeah. We should do like a show on the plane.
Just start walking up and down
entertaining
the
people,
aisles.
and be like, "Oh, sole mio," or something.
That's innovating. New idea for touring, guys.
Yeah, and the audience could follow us from gig to gig on the plane.
Travel with us.
The air tour.
The air tour.
So you see, there's a lot of fun coming up. Like, it's gonna be a fun tour, and if you come
Wow.
out to see one of those shows, it's gonna be interactive. You're gonna be part of the show. Instead of us just playing a show for you, you're gonna be part of the show, and that's what we want to do.
Do you have a favorite city we're going to play for food? Is there a favorite food, or have we even thought about this yet?
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
we need to consider it because that's part of the touring thing, right? You find the best place to eat. That's
well,
always
that
the
would
thing.
be pretty much like NOLA or Chicago for me.
Well, we're gonna have to. That'll be the next
We don't
tour.
play those places. Oh, well, maybe we can squeeze them in.
We're gonna have to go to a Waffle House in Florida.
What's your favorite food place?
I like the idea. We're gonna do a couple of shows in the
Hey,
in the middle of nowhere.
whoa! We have this Buffalo Burger thing,
That's
right?
right. Yeah, we're gonna be in
Where's that?
Wyoming, and we're gonna
Wyoming?
be in Montana, which is out there.
Wyoming
That's
and
Buffalo
Montana?
country.
And we're gonna have like Buffalo Burgers.
Wow.
That's pretty good, huh?
That is great.
We're gonna be like Kevin Costner in Dances with Wolves out there.
Woo!
Awesome. Guys, I think this is it.
Okey-dokey.
I like to thank you so much. Jen, it's always a pleasure to talk
Love
to
you.
and to
You know that.
see you.
I love you.
I'm especially happy to see that you are happy and excited. It's really nice. Keep on
Thank
like
you.
this, please. And
Thank
Travis, thank you for making Jen so happy. And
No.
nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for having us.
Became a fan.
Thank you.
I'm checking out your stuff. You're amazing, man.
Oh.
So, well, time is yours to give a last message to your audience.
Oh, that's up to
your
Travis.
Brazilian audience. Go on,
Fire
Travis.
away.
Come hang out because this is a real opportunity to get up close, hang out, get to, we all become friends.
Witness insanity.
I always said I never have fans on the road. I have friends. And so this is going to be a tour of nothing but friends. So come out and be our friend.
That's nice. I
that was
totally agree
beautiful.
to that.
Ok, I'm going to finish in Portuguese, ok?
Absolutely.
Pessoal, essa foi a nossa entrevista com a Jen Majura e com o Travis Larson. Se vocês gostaram, deixem um like, não se esqueçam de se inscrever no canal, ativem as notificações, nos sigam nas redes sociais. Quem quiser e puder contribuir com o meu trabalho via Pix e considere se tornar membro do canal. Aguarde as próximas entrevistas e é isso aí. Bye, bye!